studying this thing called um, ranting philosophy. Um, fuck, hold on. Basically, it's a channel of just me, um, basically having ideas about philosophy, and just me basically ranting them to you guys. That's the premise. I want this also to be something that's just natural. Like I'm not faking everything or editing um, stuff out. And so a lot of the time you'll see me say a lot, or there'll be some errors and stuff like that. So I'm kind of going about this in a more like spontaneous way of just raw, unedited, no edit, no edits or anything like that. Um, so that's the premise. To kind of give a background, I come from like an immigrant background. Just gonna give like a quick spiel and then kind of get to like just a topic for this or whatever. Um, but basically, yeah, I was from Haiti, uh, raised there up until like I was 8 years old. I came to the States, to Florida specifically. Lived there for about like 15 years, up until um, I was 25, which is recent, which is I'm 25 now. Went to school, became a nurse, and worked in the ICU, and then sadly, due to like presidential issues, which I don't have to get into, I had to move to Canada, and I'm not gonna tell you specify where, but I'm in Canada right now. So that's a quick background, and again, like 25, and so um, a lot of the stuff I talk about, you can kind of hopefully relate to, especially with my age, and all that stuff. Um, I would say like so the first topic I guess to discuss would just be what I've realized that um, when it comes to like things like monotony, it almost equals is there's no difference than death, right? And so one thing I realized, at least for me personally, and this is the whole thing is just gonna be for me really, and then if someone or whoever can take something from it, then they can or whatever. But one thing I've realized is that like once you start like like you working and it's like you're in this specific thing like you're just doing like every day. I do think that you need something outside of that, like some form of like creative outlet thing, or you're gonna end up you're no different than just being like that. You gotta have something like you're passionate about, and so like for me like that's like philosophy. That's like stuff that just makes you think, that makes you like that makes you question like why are we even here? Why are we doing what we're doing? Um, but yeah, so that's like kind of the ideology of about like why I'm doing what I'm doing, the overall like what this is about. Um, but like quick background as well. So like, um, and I'm not looking for any type of like sympathy, whatever. But like I said, like I was in the U.S. like, studying for nursing, and to me like that was one of the hardest things I had to do. Because nursing for me is not like it's not like a passion, but I realized that it's something that pays. And I was kind of listening to like, my surrounding, like like oh like healthcare and just like nursing is a good career. It pays, which it is, right? But like but it's not like my passion. Like I still like I love it. I mean I like it, whatever. But it's not like my passion. But like one thing I've realized is that like in this world is that like you know you're not your passion is not always gonna be like and this is like obvious. It's not gonna be like what pays. Like I wish I could just like become a teacher or do some other thing that I love love, and that would be what pays. But like reality is that like you're not gonna always have that the opportunity. Like I'm, for the people for who's that's the case, it's like man, like I wish like that was the same for me, but like I've realized that like at a early age that like especially with my background is like I don't get to choose what I want to do. Like a lot of people have that luxury, and it's like if like they want to do teaching and art and they go do that, and it's like I respect it, but it's like but you have to also look at like the consequences of that. Like some people they do it and they become very successful artists or very successful professors at like colleges, but like how many people end up doing that? And so it's like you kind of like for me like I had to go about it like logistically like what can I do now to just a form of work, or a degree that just pays that at least like it can give me like a decent living until and then I can kind of just do what I love like on the side. And I think a lot of people don't look at it that way, but basically just to go back, but yeah, that was like one of the hardest things I had to do because again like I don't love it, um and so it was like hard trying to like dig in like learning about like pharmacology, like disease processes, all these different things, and and one thing I realized is I don't know if you guys watch like Full Metal Alchemist, whatever, but like the idea of like the law of equivalent exchange, where you have to kind of like sacrifice something to get something of equal value, and I think that's true of for like just for this reality. I believe like because for me it's like the price I had to pay, right? Like I think just to even like just live a decent life, I think it was just like substantially higher. Because again, this was just something I was passionate about. So like, you like especially like my program was accelerated, so I'd have to spend days on of just full on just sitting down like from morning till night, just forcing these medications like to try and remember all of them, and I'm competing against, and it's kind of like a competitive program, so you're kind of like competing against these people who are actually passionate about this thing, and it's like, and so I just kind of realized like all to say is that like you kind of have to kind of sacrifice that, as sad as it is, and so anyway, so I had to do that, and then look and got my nursing degree, started working in the ICU, and then what's funny is I literally like that same year after I got my license, like the whole president thing kind of happened, and then it's like he kind of ended like my status of like why I was here, and then I ended up having to move, and it's like now I have to like restart from pretty much like from zero, you know. So it's kind of I'm at this point where it's like, um, I don't know. I've always had a passion for like philosophy and stuff like that, and on my own free time, I try to read, or I'll have like my own thoughts and ideas that I'll write down or talk about, and so I just kind of realized like okay, like, let me try and make something out of it, like a video, and stuff like that. So that's kind of what this channel is. And again, I want it to be raw, like how like the old YouTube was when it was just like unedited, like just and it's kind of more for me. And then if anyone takes something from it, what they do. So and hopefully as time goes on, like the quality, like the script, like not the script, but like kind of like what I say is improves, and I'll take any form of criticism. Um, but it overall, I just kind of realized that like for anybody out there who's like listening or whatever, but like if anything, you gotta have something that you're passionate about that you have to do like on the side, whether it's like the gym or whether it's like it doesn't have to be something that like even brings money. It just has to be something you do on the side. Because if you just live repeated like just work and game and then just like repeated cycle, like I've like my family, like that's kind of like what they do, and it's just like there's like no difference than like not living. Like you're subconsciously like not living, and so I don't know. It's one thing I kind of realized. I think once I started getting back into like, because again, like once I moved here, it's taken me quite some time to um to go back to what I was doing. Because again, like the licensing is different, right? The U.S. nursing license versus like the Canadian is two different things, and so now I'm competing in a whole different market. I gotta get new licenses, which I've done and everything like that. But it's like all that sacrifice I've done, I guess, and it's just like now I'm realizing that like you still have to kind of like those qualifications don't really make you, because it's like at any point in time, just like my situation, it could just be taken. And so it's like at the end of the day, like who are you outside of that, right? Who are you outside of work, outside of what you do in a day to day? You know, like you have to have some form of thing that you're doing outside of that you're passionate, that you can, whenever days are rough or whatever, that you can get lost in, you know. Um, so that's kind of like the idea that I wanted to kind of like talk about, um, but I wanted to do this spontaneously because I realized that, at least for me, if I don't do something, if I don't, especially when it comes to like stuff like this, because I'm not a person who likes making like content, whatever. Um, that's just like not me. So a lot of this is gonna be like, look, it's gonna just be weird. It's just gonna be like off, whatever. It's gonna be like a lot of mistakes, whatever. But like, to me, for it to make sense, I have to just, whether I'm in the mood for it or not, I just gotta go and start and do it, right? And so it's like, and that's for me. It's like today I just kind of realized like that's how it makes sense for me in my mind. And so for anybody else or whatever, like I think, and it's like, and you hear it a lot too. Is like, instead of just waiting for like the right time or when you have the money, whatever, you gotta just spontaneously just do it. Like not even thinking, just blind eye, just raw, whatever. And then over time, as you kind of like learn or whatever, you can kind of like progress, and then it'll get better over time. And so I wanted, again, I have a previous video uploaded, but I wanted this one to like be like, I guess like my official one. And then like again, like I plan on just not for you guys, really for me, but if someone can learn from something from it, um, to just put something out there, to kind of touch into my creative side instead of just consuming content and stuff like that. Um, so for anyone out there, if you have something you want to try, whatever, I would suggest doing the same thing instead of just um, waiting. Just do it, just like, which is kind of like what I'm trying to do. And so, but that's pretty much the idea, and I plan on, again, trying to put stuff, my own personal journal of what I'm thinking and my ideas out, and then for to kind of like journalize my ideas and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. But thank you for watching.